everybody. So, it wouldn't be Gen Con if we didn't catch up with Scott
yes.
at Flying Frog Games. And boy, are they full of awesome stuff this year. What goodies do you have?
We're full of awesome stuff. That's such a great description.
I know, right?
I wish I was full of awesome stuff all the time. No, we have so much cool stuff at our show this year. Every year we like to surprise people, and we will hold back and not tell them and whatever. And there's two reasons. Number one, we love surprises, and in the age of the internet, there's so few. But number two, it's always down to the wire, and we never know what we're going to actually be able to pull off. And this year, we had a bunch of different plates spinning, and we're like, oh, we could try to get these resin guys. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Maybe there's a chance. It's slim. And then, we could air freight in copies of these, advanced copies of these Shadows of Brimstone expansion sets. They're not coming out till the fall, but I bet we could get some. Separately, we're also trying to get, like Peril dice in different colors. These are all different sources.
Yeah.
And so we tried a bunch of them to see if any of them would work. And so we couldn't tell people, because we don't know what's going to be here. All of them panned out this year. It's never
Score!
Yeah, and so instead of just like, here's the surprise, there's like, surprise, surprise, surprise. And so people have been blowing their minds, and which we love, and it's just amazing. But I can quickly go through some of the cool stuff that we have here. So we brought in early copies of these Shadows of Brimstone enemy sets. These are all going to be available this fall. The first one here is the Burrower. It's a double XL sized giant enemy for the game, big epic threat. We've got a deluxe enemy set of the Undead Outlaws and the Undead Gunslinger. This is one of the things that we, right from the get-go from Shadows of Brimstone, when we're starting to design it, we're like, oh, Undead Outlaws would be so cool, wielding their 6-shooters and clanking their bones. We have an Allies expansion, Allies of the Old West. This is really cool because it's not an enemy pack. This is actually new allies that you can get for the game to help out your heroes. So you can actually play the game where you're just one hero, but have an entire posse of your hired guns that you bring with you. And it comes with 3 different henchmen, and then a faithful dog, a pack mule to carry all your stuff, or you can get the blacksmith so that he can repair your gear and that kind of thing.
Critters make everything better. I swear they do.
Oh, and the other thing is, like, who doesn't want a faithful dog at their side? I mean, especially if you have to go down in the mines and fight demons.
Absolutely.
So we also have the Scourge Rats and the Rat's Nest, and this is something that I really love. We wanted to have enemies of all different sizes and shapes for Shadows of Brimstone, and so everything from big epic bad guys to like swarms of little guys. And so these are some of the little guys, the Scourge Rats, and they actually come with a Rat's Nest. So you actually get 12 of these small Scourge Rats, and then the Rat's Nest is like a generator kicking out rats. And so you can kill all the rats you want, they just keep coming until you can fight your way back to that Rat's Nest and destroy it.
So you heard that. Priority, Rat's Nest. Don't get hung up on the little guys.
It's these kind of tips that it's the reason why people come to Beasts of War. And then this is another deluxe enemy pack. This is the Flesh Stalker and his Flesh Drones. So he is an evil alien scientist who does experiments on humans and other people, other aliens and whatnot. So he'll come through the portal at night and abduct people, haul them back to his science lab and do experiments on them. And his minions, these drones, are actually his past experiments. So you can see on the models big stitches up the arms and legs as he's put together. I'll take the left arm of this human and graft it onto this alien body, and so kind of Frankenstein's monster. But that's what I love about Shadows of Brimstone. You can bring all of these different genres and things all under one roof and have your cowboys fight against them. And last but not least, this is the one that's the most anticipated, Belial, Last of the Shadow Kings. So this model, I actually have one here that's put together so you can see how big it is. So this is the big bad of the whole game. And he's basically a god that your characters are fighting. And I don't know if you can see the scale, but a normal gunslinger would be about this tall. So he is just enormous. And since the day that we showed this guy, we've gotten emails every day saying, when will he be available? And I can tell you now, November. And we flew in some copies early for Gen Con, and one thing we'd like to do for your Beasts of War viewers is to give one of these away. So I don't know how you guys want to run it as the contest, but
it's going to be comment below in this video. You could find yourself in the possession of one of these wickedly bad guys.
When the actual shipment arrives with these guys, before we pack them up and send them to stores, before we send them to anybody, we're going to send them out to your lucky winner. So they'll be the first kid on their block to get a Belial sent out to them.
That is awesome. Ben, do we get to comment on this video?
All right, and besides all of this excitement about Shadows of Brimstone,
attention Gen Con attendees, Pathfinder Kingsmaker is a single-player CRPG adaptation of the popular Kingmaker Adventure Path. Join Paizo CEO Lisa Stevens and Owlcat Games creative director Alexander Michelin for a comprehensive discussion and Q&A about the game. Find the playable demo of Pathfinder Kingmaker in the Paizo booth number 103.
You were just Gen Con godded in the video there.
I know. They're making a lot more announcements this year, I noticed. So besides all of this excitement over Shadows of Brimstone stuff, this is our 10-year anniversary of our very first game, Last Night on Earth. And it was so cool because 10 years ago, we came to our first Gen Con, we had one little booth space, and we had one game and a dream, and no one had heard of us, we had no advertising, we had no lead up to this, and we just showed people Last Night on Earth, and people got really excited, and they bought a bunch of games, and it 10 years later, here we are. So to celebrate, we really, really wanted to do an anniversary edition that we would release on the show floor of Gen Con exactly 10 years later in the same place, same time. And so I have it right here. This is the enormous 10-year anniversary edition, and we've done so much cool stuff with this. We're very, very proud of it. It's not meant to replace the original Last Night on Earth. That's a tried and true thing that will stay around forever. What this is a limited edition that's like a collector's version. We're doing one print run only, and then when it's gone forever. And so we did a print run of 6,000 copies. Each one of the games actually has a laser hologram sticker here with our logo, and it's numbered. This is number 189 of 6,000. And so that's it. And when they're gone, they're gone. And in this way, you know, we really love brick and mortar stores, and we want to support them. We didn't want to have a situation where if my store has 6 copies of Last Night on Earth because they're supporting Flying Frog, that suddenly this comes out and they're like, oh, now those are obsolete. Or anybody who already owns the game, we don't want them to feel like, oh, that's obsolete now. It's an aside, it's one print run, it's a special version. It is very, very cool, but it's not the base game. Does that make sense?
But if you have the collector's gene, like I do, you'll want to get it anyway.
And let me tell you about it. It is so cool. So number one, we made the box big enough with a very nice, well-proportioned tray so that it holds all of your collection of Last Night on Earth stuff, every one of the expansions. Besides that, we went through and we revamped all of the cards and the existing stuff. So it has the main game, but we went through, we brightened up cards, we made the colors nice and vibrant. Anytime there was errata, we changed the text on the cards. We also have the benefit now of the perspective of 10 years in, we know the other expansions and everything, so we added text to the cards where it's like they work certain ways. So for example, when we first came out with Last Night on Earth, one of the items was a fire extinguisher, and you could use it to blast back zombies and push them away. But later on, we came out with the rules for fire in the game, so fires can start up, zombies can catch fire, all of this stuff. It sure seems like the fire extinguisher should put out fires.
Yes.
We added that text to the card. Same thing, the lighter, you can use the lighter to light dynamite, but now you can use the lighter to start a fire. And so revisiting all the stuff with that view of perspective of 10 years on. We made a giant rule book that encompasses all of the rules for every expansion.
Nice.
The expansions are not in here, but the rule book is the new definitive rule book where everything's collected in one place. There's a really nice glossary and index. There's 3 pages of FAQ from across all of the stuff. So it's gone through, it's had a pass, all the errata, all that. The soundtrack, we went back to the original songs, we remastered them, we added new strings, violin parts and stuff like that. We added all the songs that were on the special edition soundtrack and also brand new songs. So every piece of this along the way, we're just like, how do we soup this up? How do we add to this? We wanted all of it to be just like the perfect version of this set. All the things that used to be counters, like die-cut counters, we have miniatures for. So there's actually little 3D miniatures for, all the wound markers, the spawning pits, the sun track marker, the gas cans, all the fires. We added the rules for fire.
That is cool.
And we made them in kind of a dish so that the figure fits on top, so you can still have, a character engulfed in flame if they're in the same spot. We even have a miniature for Old Betsy, the faithful dog. And a giant version of the truck, and it's in scale with the heroes. It's the old truck that you can escape in. Besides all that, there's 4 new heroes, and the new heroes, we didn't want to just bring in something from the outside, like, well, these are new guys. So what we did was, to kind of continue the celebrating of the original set, we took people that used to be just NPCs, those like townsfolk allies that would come out. And normally they would just be on a card. It comes out and it's like, oh, it's Doc Brody. He comes out of the shadows, he heals you, and then he scurries off. But now you can actually play as Doc Brody as a fully fledged character. And he has his own miniature. For the miniatures, we went back to the original sculptor who had done all the ones in 2007, and we had him do the new heroes. So every bit of this, it's about going back, revisiting it, and then making it kind of the super uber version of it. We also have new scenarios. There's a brand new one that also uses the new truck, because we figured if we have a cool 3D old truck to escape in, we better have a couple scenarios for it. And then we also collect up all of the scenarios that were ever put on our website as free scenarios. Now they're in print in the book.
Very cool.
So this is a really big kind of deluxe set, and we couldn't be prouder of it. We got 150 of them flown in from Gen Con, or for Gen Con, and they're almost gone. And based on the reaction, like, this is going to be very big. We were hoping that this would last 6 months. It may be less than that, but I mean, that's exciting too.
That is exciting.
Yeah,
that's a good problem to have.
One other thing that we had here at the show that we flew in early was Last Night on Earth Hero Pack 2, because we didn't just want to have a revisiting, we also wanted to have at least one new expansion for the 10-year anniversary. So we released Hero Pack 2, we got it early here. It's already gone, it's sold out, so I can't show it to you, but it has 4 new heroes, a new scenario, and new cards for the game. That'll be out in November, and this one will be in stores in October.
Great. Oh my gosh.
And speaking of October, I have one more thing to lay on you. I know it's a lot.
No, that's good.
But like I said, there's so many things that came together in just the right way. It must be the magic of Gen Con 50, I think. I think I feel it. There's so many people here where they have stories like, I was at the first Gen Con, and then people that are like, I've never been, but it's the 50th, I have to come. And so it's sold out for the first time. It's very exciting.
Crazy.
Well, what I was going to say is, speaking of October, we are doing our first ever mini convention that's just for Flying Frog, and it's called Dice Fest 2017. It's going to be local to us, so it's in the Seattle area in Washington State, and it's October 28th and 29th, and it's a 2-day event. It costs $40, but up until August 31st, you can get tickets for $30, like early bird price. 25% off, and you can get tickets on our website, flyingfrog.net. It'll lead you to our web store where we're selling the tickets. And everybody who buys a ticket, each admission actually comes with an exclusive Dice Fest miniature for Shadows of Brimstone, and this guy is really cool. And so we're very excited about it. So hopefully people can come out and join us. It's the kind of thing where when we go out to conventions, very often we're just doing demos and kind of showing people just the basics, showing them a new game. But this is meant for people that already play the games. Now, look, you already know how to play. Now let's take it to the next level. So we're going to have huge mega events. We're going to have tournaments and contests. There's going to be big 3D boards. I don't know if you guys saw last year, but we made the huge Old West town in 3D.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
So cool. We're going to have a bunch of boards like that, not just for Shadows of Brimstone, but for a bunch of our games. And then tournaments. There's going to be a painting contest, a costume contest. We're going to do a keynote panel where we actually on stage have all of the original cast and crew and creators of Last Night on Earth for the 10-year anniversary. And then afterward, that turns directly into a signing. So you can just go down the line and get your games signed by everybody.
Awesome.
I'm way excited. We're gonna have a live concert of the soundtrack music pulled from all the soundtracks. It's like, I don't know, it's everything we would want if, you know,
Absolutely.
as fans of the game ourselves. And so we're putting it together in a 2-day event, October 28th and 29th, 2017 in Redmond, Washington.
Oh my gosh. Well, Scott, so many cool things. What an awesome miniature, you guys. Seriously, get your comments below if you want to have a chance to win this bad boy. You know, it could be you. You just never know. But it's always nice catching up with you. Can't wait to hear what's going to be coming new, you know, in the future from you guys. And can't wait to see what goes on with this convention. Great stuff.
Thank you very much. We can't either. We've never done it before, so it's going to be cool.
We'll see you guys later.